Hello everyone and welcome to Sinful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to be talking about some more rumours that have come out for the General's Handbook, and including some points changes for Stormcast Eternals, but also some Battlepack changes and rules that are apparently from the new General's Handbook. Now, as always, this is all just rumour until we see something. Obviously, take everything here with a grain of salt, though this is similar rumours to what I've seen come out from other sources I've had before. So, you know, where there's smoke, there's maybe fire. And I think a lot of this makes sense to me. A lot of this seems like it's pointing in the right direction, so be really interested to sort of see what everyone else thinks of these. So we'll get cracking on with Stormcast point changes first, and then we'll look at the Battle Pack changes for the new sort of match play system we're going to be playing with for the next 6 months. So let's get cracking on into it. And so these are the changes apparent. Now, a lot of this is going along the lines of similar things I've seen before. First of all, Stormdrake Guard losing the hero phase move. This is something I think that is definitely just warranted on the Stormdrake Guard. I love the models, I love running them. I think that is the thing that just makes them that little bit too much. Don't change the points of them. If they lose this, I think they stay at a very fine points value. As long as they lose that hero phase move, I think that move and that alpha strike ability of the Stormdrake Guard, the sort of guaranteed alpha strike, is definitely what's making them such a not fun army for particular people to play against. Now, I know they're definitely not the competitive meta, but I think in a much more casual audience, it is definitely a good change. We then see cost increases for Formulators, Long Strikes, Adjudicators with Bows, and Chariots as well. All of these deserve cost increases. I think they're all really good value for what they are. We've got to be more so the Long Strikes, I think, here need to be really careful with how you increase their points and how much you increase their points by. Otherwise, you may make them completely unplayable, but maybe that is the idea. Maybe they've seen this unit on the table long enough and they're just like, you know what, let's just take it out the competitive meta for a little bit. And I honestly don't think that's a terrible idea. If you're playing competitive, you are trying to, I guess, manipulate that meta to be the best possible list you can write. And your list should change from time to time as new books come out, as changes happen. So, you know, if that maybe moves them, but I hope they don't increase them so much that they're even, I guess, not a valid option in more casual and narrative style of play. Apparently there's no other changes, which I'll be pretty happy because my general Stormcast list includes none of the above units, so my Paladin list won't change. Which I think is the right decision. Like, it's better to increase the things we know that are too hyper efficient for Stormcast at the moment, and then leave the rest as is, see what else becomes hyper efficient. You can increase what else needs increasing if it does, or indeed go, well, these things still aren't seeing play, maybe you can lower those particular things for the Stormcast. But what do you think of these Stormcast changes? I think it's pretty bang on the money here for me of what should be changed. We can see what needs decreases over time, I think. And then we have some Battle Pack changes, or some things that are sticking around. Now, first of all, it is all battle line infantry with less than 4 wounds can fight in 3 ranks. So this is 3 or less wounds, as it says, under 4 wounds in the notes that I've got and been given, which is really interesting. I think we're seeing something like this come to Skaven. 40k does a very similar thing to this. I think this is a good and positive change. 1-drop battalion still exists. We all know how maybe some people feel about the 1-drop battalion. I do think it is playing into particular parts of the game that maybe it doesn't need to exist. Maybe it should only give a +1 to a roll-off for turn 1. I don't know. I'm not entirely convinced it needs to stay. However, we got 2 new battalions, and it's here with the new battalions and the other things we're going to talk about in a sec, that I think they're using a standard sort of formula now for these battle packs. So we've got 2 new battalions. One of them gives infantry and battle line with 5 or more wounds the ability to counter 3 models on objectives. Really cool. But the other interesting one is the other new battalion gives 1 wound infantry +1 damage when fighting against units in the previously mentioned battalion. I think this creates a really interesting part of the meta because it creates, you know, these 2 things that are, one of them is a clear beneficial unit and the other one gives you something to do with that unit that has a benefit on the table. I think this is a really interesting sort of dynamic they've got with these two new battalions here to play around with. And really, do I want to take this one or do I want to take that one? Do I want to include both? I think this is really interesting on how they're sort of making them play. Hopefully this is true, because this is really cool area to explore, I think. We then have all battle tactics have been replaced and are much harder to achieve. No more easy givens like Monstrous Takeover, apparently. Nothing but positive stuff there. I was watching Warhammer Weekly last week, and I am in full agreement that, you know, the average should be people are completing 2 or 3 a game, not the average should not be 5. It's like 4 and 5 should be considered a really good game. 1 should be considered, you know, not great, but 2 to 3 should be that average of what people are getting a game for battle tactics. And then we have this other change to player going second can choose an objective that can only be contested by infantry for the rest of the game. That to me is really interesting. It's once again like it's no longer removing one like we have in the current thing, but it's actually, you know, making control by only a particular type of unit. I think that's an interesting way to go with a change. Like I said, it seems like they've got this sort of, you know, 2 battalions, an objective turn 3 rule, and then a nice little one particular type of unit is getting favourable things in this pitch battle season. I'm really interested to sort of see where we go with this. I like the idea of these being the battle pack. I hope this is the battle pack changes, and we'll see in, you know, the next couple of days. But what do you think if all these changes are real? What do you think? Let us know down in the comments below. And so that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and drop us a comment down below letting us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come help support the channel in another way, you can do so either by joining our Patreon or YouTube members, or grabbing some channel merch off our merch store on Teespring, which is on our YouTube store as well. You can also come chat with me and other members of our little community here and our Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description, along with the Patreon and YouTube members links. And as a special shout out to all those Patreons and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons: Christian Weir, James Soren, Greenskins Gaming, AJC, Kenny Lowell, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, Agu, Anthony B, Anton Nilsson, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Derek, and Giapi390. And a special thank you to our YouTube members: Rumours Gaming, Kenton Young, Chris Wallace, Ronya, Locke Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Revenar, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Sean Scott, Pink Nico Fire, and Robin Mankiller as well. Lastly, a special thanks to Lady Witchfox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel, and to everyone who comes on the channel and helps us create everything we do. Thank you all for watching once again, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the grey. Ciao for now.